have good and bad news for you, Corey. Bill Barnwell split his list up into the lowest 16 and then the next 16.
Would you like to start at number 16 and work your way to number 1?
Well, here's the thing. The top 16, I believe, might get released tomorrow. So my good news is you don't have to wait until tomorrow. Now, the bad news...
Wait, that's not good.
I mean, if you don't like to wait, you
like
guys
to wait?
told me at the beginning of the show you don't want to wait in a line. So, you don't have to wait. But the bad news is because the Cowboys are 24th.
Okay. So I said between 22 and 25.
Yes.
That makes sense. What did they do this offseason that put them in the top 10? Nothing.
Well, and here's what went wrong. It's clear the Cowboys wanted to sign Gregory, and it's never a good look when you announce a deal only for the player to head elsewhere. That is the one thing I will tell you. Like, personally, I'm fine that Randy Gregory left for that price. But the messaging on this has been super weird because, like, the deal was definitely done, except for that one little thing in the contract. And then when they revisit it, they're like, whoops, well, that doesn't work. But all of the numbers were agreed to. So when they're like, hey, we were able to do this, we just couldn't do this on that contract. I was like, yes, you could, because you did.
You decided not to, though.
Yeah, like nothing changed with the numbers. They didn't say, all right, 5 for 40, and all the parties agree, and then he goes 5 for 80. Like, that's not what happened.
Have you ever been trying to buy something and somebody agreed to terms on that purchase, and then you were like, crap, I don't really want that. And then somebody was like, hey, never mind, we're not selling that to you. And you're like, okay, cool, thank you. I'm actually a little relieved that I'm not saying that's going to be the case with Randy Gregory because you didn't replace that type of stuff, right? You didn't replace what he can do. So you still have to find that. But maybe there is a situation where they're like, we actually are okay with this. Like, they seem okay with it.
Yeah.
But have you ever had that moment where you went to buy something and it didn't turn out?
It wasn't quite that.
I think that situation works more when you make plans with somebody. It's like, hey, let's catch up later today. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And then you go, oh, I don't really want to go anywhere. And then they flake, so you're like, yes.
Oh, man, you saved me.
This actually happened to me in a job negotiation.
What?
Once.
What?
Was that the Blockbuster?
No.
Okay.
Actually, it was going to be, I was going to be switched over from an hourly employee to, they were like, hey, we want to pay you this. And I crunched the numbers and I was like, okay, well, this is like just barely more than I was making on my hourly wage. And they thought that I was going to go for it. And I was like, yeah, that'll work only if, and I was like, but you guys are going to try to take away overtime and stuff from me, right? And they're like, yes, this would be your contractually obligated salary, and that would be all of your money. And then I was like, no. And they were pissed because they just thought I was going to say yes. And I was like, I feel like you're trying to pull some bull crap, smoke and mirrors. So no dice. So the Cowboys are 24th. Obviously, the Amari Cooper thing came into the mix. And then they said it's not only losing Amari Cooper, but this article is quick to point out he's clearly not at the same level of Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill or the players of that ilk. But it is still embarrassing when you see
their quarterbacks.
Sure.
Like, I mean, let's be honest about that.
Of course I would agree with that.
If anybody out there is like, well, hold on, how can you say Dak's not a top 10 quarterback? I'm fine. Listen, is he Mahomes? You're really going to tell me you think he's Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes? There's a huge discrepancy there. And you can build a team that can work with Dak. You definitely can. I don't think they have the talent right now to be able to be at that level yet, but he can definitely win with the right team. It's just going to take a lot of work to get that right team put together.
And so when you saw that, like, that is kind of bad. And what's next?
Did he kill the draft too? Did he say that he didn't like their draft?
No. Actually, really interestingly enough, the draft is like very lightly touched on here. They said some of the positives. They did like the Dante Fowler Jr. signing 1 year for $3 million, and then like the pick of Tyler Smith. But other than that, like, the draft is not like really addressed a whole lot here. What's next for the Cowboys is, do you negotiate the long-term deal with Dalton Schultz? So you've got him on the franchise tag for 10.9. You've got until July to negotiate the long-term deal. So what's the direction that will take? And will the Dalton Schultz deal look like the Hunter Henry deal, which was 3 for $37.5? My guess is they might be looking for 4 for $50, but I think something in that ballpark is probably what they're looking for. Whether or not you want that to happen, that will be the next step.
I'm going to say no.
That they don't get it done?
No, they might get it done. I would say no if I'm the one in that seat at the moment. Now, maybe he has an awesome year.
Yeah.
But you've spent poor money on Zeke, and I just don't think that a tight end that's not getting you 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. Like, that's a ridiculous amount of numbers, right?
Yeah.
I just don't think if he's not going to be that dude, then I can say, hey, here's how I feel about it. We'll figure ways out for our offense to produce, but I got to see something exceptional this year. Not just he's a great security blanket for my quarterback.